It's another delicious day here in the Let's Make Food from Food Kitchen, and today it's going to be so yummy. We're making a bacon blue burger to celebrate the 4th of July. Today's the 3rd if you're watching it on the release day. If it's not, well, happy 4th of July if you're watching it on the 4th, and if not, don't forget to celebrate any time of the year, okay? So, what do we have here? I have my homemade burger buns. I'm doing it a little differently this time. Normally I would make the burger buns, put that video out, and then do the burger, but I have to do it a little bit differently this time. So the buns are going to come out in a couple weeks. I'll put the link down below that will come out, as well as the date that it will release. In the meantime, I'll put a link also for the sourdough hamburger buns that you can use. This is a classic hamburger bun. It just didn't work out in my schedule that way, and I apologize for that in advance. It's the first time that's ever happened. Let's move on. I have some stages of things. My oven's preheating to 350 right now. Why? Because we're going to bake our bacon. I have bacon and I have a pound of ground beef. Now, I know, Michelle, don't you cure your own bacon? Yes, I do, and there's a link for that too on how to cure your own bacon, but this isn't just any bacon. This is jowl bacon. Now, if you don't know what jowl bacon is, it's from this part. It is fattier. Look at this. It's fattier. It's flavorful. It is so, so, so good. Is it good for you? No. But it's so good and so underrated. And then the beef I have came from the same place that I got the jowl bacon, and I wanted to mention them. It's not a sponsored, you guys. This is not a sponsored video. I have gotten products from them the last couple years at the farmers market locally. This is Bentley Farms. They are located in Bowling Green, Kentucky. It's a wonderful couple, and I really can get behind their farming methods and their raising methods. So I wanted to just give them a shout out. There's a link below down to their website. If you're local Kentucky or Tennessee, you can place an order online and pick up. I don't think they ship. I could be wrong. Go to their website to check. I think they do delivery within a certain range. Again, don't quote me on that. Please go check and see. Bentley Farms, if you do watch this, comment down below what your process is. Go ahead and let everybody know if they want to order something, how that works, because I am not the expert here on that. Okay, so now what I want to do is prep my beef first. So I'm going to set my bacon aside. I did get some scissors. Hands are washed. I'm going to cut open. Now remember, guys, I use separate cutting boards for my meat versus my vegetables and non-meat products, so that there's not cross-contamination. I like to use the plastic, and yes, these little cuts can get the bacteria in there, but I can also sanitize it better than I can the wood, which is why I always use these for meats and never on wood. And that's my personal preference. You do what you want. So I'm going to get rid of this. What I want to do is shape patties. So this is a pound, and I'm just going to make 4 squares here. Okay. Now I'm just going to form patties with my hands and get them, try to get them kind of flat and evenly sized. And why is that important? It's just for the cooking time. If you've got one thick one and one thin one, they're not going to cook evenly, and they do shrink up as they cook. So I want to try and get them pretty flat so that they kind of fill my bun as much as possible, because some of those are pretty good size. Okay, so I think that is a good shaped burger. I'm going to set it here on this parchment paper and repeat the process 3 times. Okay, I have 4 patties here ready to go. Or are they? I say nay. Put these in the fridge so that they come back together and don't fall apart as you cook them, because I have just warmed up that meat with my hands. So I'm going to put them in the fridge while I do some other steps here. So stand by. Okay, next we're going to do our bacon, and I am going to bake my bacon. 1, it allows me to use my skillet for other things, and 2, it cooks more evenly and it's easier to clean up. Okay, so you don't have to line your baking sheet with foil. I do it for the cleanup. It's much easier to clean the pan. So I don't crowd these. I try to give a little space in between each one if I can make them fit that way. and I'm gonna cook them. And your baking time is always gonna vary on this. It's gonna depend on how fatty it is, how thick they are. So you're gonna have to keep an eye on it. 10 to 20 minutes. And of course, that's based on the size. So little thin strips of bacon, 10 minutes. Big, thick bacon, 20. But keep an eye on it. Check it every couple of minutes. Okay, now we're ready to continue on. I have this ready to go in the oven, but I'm not gonna put it in yet, okay? Because I need those burgers to sit in the fridge for a little while. But what I can do is start prepping my buns, and here we go. So this is the delight that I created. And again, I apologize that this video won't be available just quite yet, but it will be soon, I promise. These are cut open, and I'm going to just open them face out, okay? And I'm going to paint them with butter. Now you could melt the butter in the pan and do it that way. I have found though that you end up using a lot more butter that way to get it evenly soaked in to toast your buns. And of course, toasting your buns is not something you have to do, but I feel like it gives them such an elevated flavor by doing so. I don't know why I'm holding this bowl. I don't have to hold that bowl. It'd be easier to do it this way. There we go. Look at me. Even I learn. I'm still learning all the time. I think cooking is something that until you can't cook anymore for whatever reason, you're still learning. Now I'll have to do it in batches, and that's okay. So just a couple of minutes to get them nice and toasty. So I'll just do 2 at a time since I have to do it twice. So once those are toasted, I'll go ahead and put in my bacon and take the burgers out. So the bacon's probably, I'm gonna guess and say, let's gamble and say 12 minutes. I'm gonna set a timer when I put it in for 12 minutes, and that's my bet. My burgers need to cook for 8. It's gonna be 4 minutes aside. My skillet is still warm, and we're at 350. So these are fairly thin, so I have changed my mind. I think I'm gonna cook them for like 6 to 7 minutes just because they're so thin. So I'm just gonna take my butter, the rest of it, and put it in there. We don't need a whole lot because this is a non-stick pan anyway. So just get that in there. Now I have a teaspoon of kosher salt, and I'm gonna sprinkle some of it on this side. And I know there's a lot of recipes that say garlic and this and that, and for steaks and burgers, I really just like salt and pepper. That's it, salt and pepper. So I'm gonna pepper 2 of these because my kids are eating 2 of them and they don't really care for pepper. And hopefully I remember which ones they were. Okay. And just put the salted side down. And then I will salt the other side, just a little bit. And if I have some from that teaspoon left over, that's totally fine. Salt and pepper is to taste. And I think I say that pretty much every time I use it, but if you've never watched before, it's a good thing I said it again, right? Okay, I have an ingredient over here, 2 of them actually, I haven't really talked about. And that is French fried onion strings. These are homemade. There's a link down below for the video on how to make these. They are delicious. I love them. I could snack on them, and those are going right on my burger. And then this is my homemade stone ground mustard. The condiments that you put on your burger is entirely up to you. I'm not going to tell you what to put on your burger. You want mayo, put on mayo. Mustard, ketchup, whatever it is. A bacon blue burger for me. Some people put on barbecue sauce. Not big on sweetmeats. Barbecue sauce on burgers. A little tiny bit's okay. Yeah, but I don't love it. So for me, I'll probably put just a little bit of this on mine. Kids use ketchup on theirs. It's really up to you. So I will put links down below on if you want to make them, how to make this. The stone ground mustard, how to make the ketchup, how to make mayo. I make all of those things from scratch. So you put on your burger what you want. So what I'm looking for is some browning coming up the sides before I flip these. I may 1 flip philosophy on these, so I don't want to continually flip them. I just want to flip them one time. And the same thing for my steaks. I want to flip them one time because I like that crust, and it takes some time for that crust to build, and it's the heat, and when you flip them, it doesn't stay as hot on the side that's facing up. So, does anybody know where the hamburger comes from? I was doing a little bit of reading, and I didn't look really deep into it, but it looks like Connecticut state fairs are associated with it. A lot of Germans, immigrants, and the sausage then turned Hamburg beef, hamburger, and then the sausage turned hot dog, which is one of the reasons hamburgers and hot dogs are often served together. That is what I read. Don't quote me as fact, but I thought that was kind of interesting. Okay, so as you can see, I've got some good coloring coming up halfway. I'm going to go ahead and flip them. There we go. Look at this. That coloring, that's what I like. Beautiful. Okay, these are going to be delicious. Okay, I can admit when I'm wrong. I was wrong. The bacon needs a little more time, and I turned it on broil to crisp it up a little bit, and it's the fat content in the gel bacon. Totally fine. It's delicious. It's so good and so worth it. So I turned my burgers off so they wouldn't continue to cook, and I turned it off a little early so that it wouldn't overcook. So the heat will keep them warm, and it'll continue to cook a tiny bit, which is perfect. It's what I want. And the bacon will finish up, and then I'll drain some of that jerky fat onto my paper towel. We'll put it all together. It's gonna be delicious. I am gonna swap my cutting board back out though, because I'm gonna cut one open for you. Okay, look at this gel bacon. It is perfectly sized for my burgers, in my opinion. So I'm just gonna pick them up and put them here on my paper towels so that some of that fat can drain out, because I do like them crispy. I don't like the extra fat drippy. Okay, and I'm just patting the tops of these. I could flip them over, but it's just faster to blot. Okay, so it's at the bottom. Nice. I am going to put my cheese. Where's my spoon? There it is. I found it. This is the tricky part because it doesn't like to stay. So what I'm going to do is put it on the top and then flip the burger part over onto it. And if you wanted, you could stick these in the oven and soften the blue cheese. You just turned it off so you could soften the blue cheese a little bit. Instead of melting it on the burger, you could do it that way too. So you just stick them right on the, yeah, you know what I'm saying, right? Next, I'm going to, oh, I didn't even put my mustard on, that's okay. Bacon, and look how perfectly sized this bacon is for these burgers. It's fabulous, okay? All right, and now for some onion straws, onion strings. They're so good. This is gonna be such a thick burger. Okay, look at that. Again, I just take it and flip it upside down, like so. And there is our beautiful burgers. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and cut mine open so you can see. It's gonna be a little pink, I think, because I turned it off. Oh, it's perfect. That's perfect. I'm good with that. That's fabulous. Okay, moment of delicious truth. I fell apart down here. Oh my gosh. That's amazing. It makes, I shouldn't talk with my mouth full, I'm sorry. Okay, I chewed. It makes such a difference when you do things from scratch and you use wholesome ingredients, things that, like from Bentley Farms, getting a good beef, a good quality, and a good quality bacon, even if it's not gel bacon, if you don't like the idea of that, and just trust me, it's so good. Just using a regular pork belly bacon, but getting something quality, making it yourself, it's such night and day difference. It's better for your body. when you take the time to take out those shelf-stable ingredients out of your diet. Thanks for joining me here today in the Let's Make Food from Food kitchen. Have a safe and happy 4th or any other day of the year. From my kitchen to yours, let's make food from food.
That's one boy.